Last night on Bachelor in Paradise.
I know Bailey's a bit more empathetic than I am tonight. I know Bailey is super emotional about this. The last thing she wants to do is send someone home. I could give a who goes home, to be honest. My strategy moving forward is very simple. I just want to win the money. I really don't like the Goldens. They're so annoying.
Why are you the way that you are? I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Well, folks, we're back with another episode of Bachelor in Paradise, and everything has changed. As Jesse Palmer has announced that the government found the $500,000 that April took and kept for herself.
I found $500,000 and kept it.
And they're going to be adding it as a cash prize at the end of the season. So yes, Paradise just became a competition show, and whether you like these changes or not...
This is our reality now.
But alright, before we get to that, we've still got a rose ceremony ahead of us, as last week left us off with a bunch of golden gals, just 3 golden guys, plus everyone else, and 1 hour left to go before the rose ceremony. And with the huge disparity in male and female golden contestants, men like Gary and Captain Kim are in, well, the captain's seat. So these two sit down with Leslie and Faith and Nancy, and it wouldn't be a season with the Goldens if it didn't make you wail with tears at some point, as Kim tells Nancy about the things his late wife said to him before she died.
She says, you know, I'm not sad I have to die. I've had too much joy in my life. It just wouldn't be right to end it being sad.
Damn this show, 5 minutes in and I'm in tears. But apart from those 2 golden guys, and maybe Alicia, who's still open to a rose from Dale, the rest of this rose ceremony is pretty straightforward, as the men start handing out their roses to the person they've always been coupled up with.
Would-tu prendre ma rose?
Okay, I think I know what you're trying to say.
Okay, I don't even think that's a word in French, but it sounded like he just asked Alex to melt his rose. Someone help me out here in the comments before I contact my retired grade 6 French teacher. Oh, and then there's also Dale, who's looking at Kat and Alicia like...
A great woman, checks so many boxes, but I need more, and she's holding back, and I'm staring dead in the face of someone who I know would open up and is just wanting to do that.
And I was going, what? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? I mean, I know you were chatting up Alicia, but you've known her for like a day. Still, Dale gives his rose to Kat, leaving Sean open to give his rose to Alicia. Gary then gives a rose to Leslie, and Kim gives his to Faith. And sorry, April, Jonathan doesn't want to return the favor from earlier, and he gives his rose to Leia, sending Natasha, April, and Nancy out of Paradise. But before we can move on to another day, Jesse Palmer comes out and makes the big announcement. There are going to be no more new arrivals, and all the exercises coming up are going to be relationship tests.
Now, sometimes there'll be winners who need to make a pivotal decision, and sometimes there will be losers that won't have any roses to hand out.
And how this is going to work is when there's an exercise or a challenge, the losers of that challenge won't get to hand out roses that week. However, the winning couple will get an extra rose to give out to 1 or 2 of the losers. So that's how the rose ceremonies are going to work. And then, at the end, the winners will get a chance to leave Paradise with up to $500,000 grant bucks. So this changes everything. The focus has shifted, as now people begin to just quiz each other on random facts, like what's your favorite food, what's your favorite travel destination.
Are you into feet?
And they're all doing this in preparation for whatever the next challenge is going to be. Well, except for most of the Goldens who don't actually care about the money, and also Brian and Parisa, who are just growing further and further apart, so they're spending their nights being more like...
I gave up a month of my job to come here. I'm very frustrated, and this is not my...
About what?
I'm frustrated because I don't know, what's happening between us.
But okay, for this compatibility challenge, the couples were each privately asked questions by production like, how many kids do you want, and then their partner is going to have to guess if the number they said is higher or lower than the one Jesse Palmer presents. And depending on how confident you are, you can wager these chips. If you get it right, you double your chips. But get it wrong, and Jesse Palmer pockets everything to help fund next season. The couple with the most amount of chips at the end gets a date and decides who's going home from the 3 couples with the least amount of chips. So here's an example of a question.
The amount of unread text messages Bailey has, higher or lower than 850? 3? Jeremy? That is correct.
Now, Bailey and Jeremy are one of the couples that really come out strong, along with Dale and Kat, while new couples like Faith and Captain Kim struggle, as well as the flailing couples like Brian and Parisa.
Percentage of breakups that Brian thinks were his fault.
These are important numbers. Like, I would have to know how many girlfriends, 2 divided by. But if he were to give a higher number of past relationships,
It's incorrect.
But all it takes is one wrong move and you can get shot to the bottom of the heap. Like, Jeremy and Bailey are at 18 chips, tied for first place, and Jeremy decides,
I like to live dangerously.
so he goes all in on if Bailey's ever spent higher or lower than $350 on a gift for her partner. But he gets it right and cashes out big time. So seeing this, Gary then walks up to the plate and he too goes,
I also like to live dangerously.
So he puts 9 chips down, half their chips, on the final question, and he gets it wrong.
Gary, I'm sorry, that's not right.
I'm sorry, sir.
Well, I won't lie to you. Cards are not my bag, baby.
Which was completely ridiculous because he didn't need to do that. Gaining 9 chips meant nothing. They weren't going to win, but losing 9 chips now puts them in the bottom 3 and they're up for elimination. If he had just thrown down 1 chip either way, win or lose, they would have been safe. But here they are at the bottom, along with Kim and Faith and Brian and Parisa. So now these 3 are coming on bended knee to Bailey to make their case for staying and receiving one of her extra roses. And it's kinda lame because at least Gary and Leslie and Kim and Faith seem like couples legitimately here to work on their connections, while other couples are already dead in the water. Like Jonathan, who's now on his, 3rd friend zone of paradise? And if this is news to you, well, it's news to me too, along with Leia, because she doesn't seem to realize any of this. But oh, she's about to.
Yeah, I know. You guys were friends first, though. You like her, right?
Like romantically?
Yeah. What?
Now Jonathan swears that Leia knows all about this, but does she? It doesn't seem like it. And Brian and Parisa, they continue their trouble as Parisa's feeling Brian shy away and wants to talk about it. However, the moment she brings anything up, he starts going,
like, sometimes you overload me with compliments.
You really look so handsome.
You have nice cheekbones, by the way.
You smell good.
Because, like, there's, like, a smothering aspect
With the compliments.
to it.
Okay.
oh, your partner compliments you all the time. What a tragedy. Meanwhile, Jeremy and Bailey are on a high on their date. I mean, Bailey's just happy to have someone who seems to listen to the things she's said, and Jeremy, well, Jeremy seems super excited to be one step closer to 500k. And oh, when it starts getting closer to that rose ceremony, the power is getting to Jeremy's head. I mean, he starts entertaining visitors like he's the godfather or something, but I mean, the guy isn't even the one making the decision. This week, the women are handing out the roses, so Bailey ultimately gets to decide.
What are we talking about?
Talking about you going home, dog.
Yeah.
Basically, you're good.
I didn't say that.
Oh.
But it's not my decision.
Now this really irks Brian, and I almost forgot that during Jen's season, Jeremy and Brian beefed, and Jeremy even references this, which irks Brian even more cause now he's feeling threatened. Plus he feels like Jeremy should be the one on the chopping block, considering he was begging Susie to come back to be with her, and he did this all behind Bailey's back. So things are getting tense at the cocktail party. Kat tells Leia about Jonathan putting her in the friend zone, and Leia's going,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did he communicate that to you?
He hasn't said that to me.
He has done that to every
girl here.
Okay, is it me or does Jonathan secretly just want Kat? Anyway, these two sit down and Leia confronts him about this, and Jonathan confirms everything he said to Kat. Which, cool, now they get to just be mad at each other and still continue on in this show doing challenges. Meanwhile, Parissa's still spiraling as Brian's acting all friendly with everyone else, but is almost completely ignoring her. But okay, now it's time for the rose ceremony and Bailey's decision, where she is empathetic and listening to which couples have the strongest connection, while Jeremy, he doesn't seem to care at all and is only thinking strategically for the money. Also, you know, having power is pretty fun too.
Brian, he knows I have the power. And honestly, I like playing God.
Now, begrudgingly, Brian bends the knee. But when, once again, Jeremy dangles sending Brian home over his head, Brian can't help but compare Bailey's empathy to Jeremy's coldness.
She's so dope, bro. Like, I think the world of her. I really do.
I mean, she's an empathetic person.
She's empathetic. I know you're a cold.
Ooh, Jeremy did not like that one. But now it's time. First, everyone with a rose still needs to hand one out. And when it comes to Leia's turn...
Jonathan. You're welcome.
Oh, now that was cold, in all the best ways. And then it's time for Bailey to hand out her bonus roses. She's got 2 and 3 couples to choose from. First, she calls out Faith and hands her a rose to give to Kim, but then she calls out Leslie, leaving Brian and Parissa shocked. That is until...
I'm so sorry that I can't offer you this rose. And I really hope that you and Gary find each other after this. Oh my gosh.
So yes, Gary and Leslie are headed home. The first couple gone in the Survivor era of Bachelor in Paradise. And Gary has got to be kicking himself because he literally could have prevented all of this if only he had just thought about what he was doing in the challenge. But hey, you know Gary.
I also like to live dangerously.
So that's it for this recap of week 5 of Bachelor in Paradise. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
I really don't like the Goldens. They're so annoying.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.